Hello, let me talk about the difference now between a diorite, which is the one here on my left, versus this is an andesite porphyry. So this also creates a little bit of confusion on students, diorite and andesite porphyry. So what's the difference? Let's look first, classify them according to, this is a classification from Williams Turner. So a diorite is, if you look down here, right? So this axis here is the amount of quartz. So diorite, and this axis here on the right is, on the left is alkali feldspar. The one on the right is plagioclase, right? Alkali feldspar would be your potassium feldspar, your orthoclase. So anything that's greater than 20% quartz, as you can see right through there. So most granite have between 20 to 40% quartz. There are really very few falls greater than 50%. So most of the plutonic felsic igneous rocks that we'll be talking about, that we call granite, are those that have greater than 20% quartz. So within granite itself, we have the alkali granite, which is the pinkish one. We have the granodiorite and tonalite. Well, I won't show you that. So these are light colored ones, and these are kind of pinkish. Why is the difference between the two? If you look in here, it's the reason because this is the feldspar in here are the potassium variety on this one. So this is your typical pink granite. But as you go to the right of this triangle, we're going more to a plagioclase. So plagioclase tend to be, particularly the albite, the sodic variety, tend to be white. So now the granodiorite and tonalite are almost white in color, right? So, but the main difference between a granodiorite, tonalite versus a diorite is that this one contains more quartz, in fact, greater than 20%. So a diorite is just like a granodiorite, except it has fewer than 20% quartz. So what's the dominant minerals in the diorite? Well, the dominant minerals in a diorite are the white ones are dominantly your sodic plagioclase, albite, something like that. What would be the dark minerals? Most of the minerals in a diorite would be hornblende. Would you see some biotite? Oh yes. Would you see some pyroxene? Yes, but they're going to be minor. So most of the materials that you're seeing in the diorite is primarily sodic plagioclase. You can see this is what we refer to as phaneritic texture. Phaneritic, because if I just focus on here, let me see if you can see it very well. You can see the white grains are your sodic plagioclase, and you can see the black mineral kind of almost. Those are hornblende, right? Primarily, most of those are hornblende, and you can see the individual crystals, in here. So that is your diorite. So if I increase the quartz on this one by more than 20%, this becomes what we call granodiorite and falls into what we now refer to as the granitic area, the granitic rocks. So go in here, it's a big difference, right? Same composition, but this one is andesite. This is the volcanic equivalent of this one. The major difference obviously is it's a volcanic rock. So, but this particular volcanic rock, if I just focus in, the dark matrix, you cannot see it really well, right? Because compared to this one, you can see the individual crystals of hornblende. Here, the hornblende and maybe some pyroxene mixed in, you cannot see them, right? You can only see those if I make a thin section and put it under the microscope. But with your naked eye, you cannot see it. All you're seeing is this white mineral, and those of course are what we call phenocryst, and that's a phenocryst of albite or sodic plagioclase, right? So the texture that we're seeing in here is what we call as a porphyritic. So it's made up of large crystals of plagioclase embedded in a fine-grained matrix of embedded in a fine-grained matrix of probably mixture of hornblende and maybe some pyroxene, but mostly hornblende. So the difference here, you can see now the difference. This is porphyritic texture, and this is a phaneritic texture. This is a plutonic rock. This is a volcanic rock. How do we know this is a real volcanic rock? Because this came out of the Mount Pinatubo eruption in 1992, right? So big difference between, so we know it's really volcanic. And we also have thin sections made from this one. So so it's not a now if I remove if there's no more white mineral in here that you can see, so just say all black, then it would be just typically be called an andesite. You know, and because then it's not porphyritic anymore, we just call it andesite. So if you start losing some of those coarser material. Okay, I hope it clarifies some of the confusion here.